Hi, my name is Maranatha, and I know my face is pretty new. I'm also trying to figure this out myself. I have three questions to answer so you guys can get to know me better. So the first one is, who am I? My name is Maranatha Abutu, or Queen Maranatha Abutu. So a lot of people know me more or better as Queen, but I prefer Maranatha or Mara for short. So who am I? I studied industrial chemistry, but right now I'm not practicing that. And what I'm doing right now is I'm a writer and a podcaster. So I have platforms on Instagram and on Anchor, as well as other podcasting platforms. But since Instagram has been acting in a very weird way, I decided, oh, why not come on here and share my awesome self with you guys? So the next question is, what do I hope to do with this platform? So as a writer, I have two books published. Leila Khalid, a story about a 28-year-old woman who was a lawyer, but despite coming from wealth and affluence, she still had to suffer because of a condition, a primary ovarian insufficiency. You should Google that. And then I wrote another book, at 8, a book on female genital mutilation. Very, very awesome read. You should get a copy for yourself. And besides writing as an author, I also write a couple of articles here and there, which are the kind of content I'll be sharing with you guys about myself and then about society and culture. So to say, like an extension of my podcast, Rave with Mara. So today I decided to kick this off by telling you guys tidbits about myself and also read an article for you guys. So last week I got a text from one of my old friends from school, from uni, and they wanted me to do an article on feminism. To be straight, the topic they asked me to write on is, has the feminist movement done enough intellectually to justify its belief? So the magazine they asked me to write this article for is a Catholic magazine. But for some reason, I know that there are some topics in this conversation that may not be okay. I'm a Catholic, mind you, that may not be okay with the Catholic Church or the doctrines that we uphold as Catholics. But the truth needs to be said. And so I am here today to read to you guys this article. And yeah. So again, the topic is, has the feminist movement done enough intellectually to justify its belief? So here goes the article. As a woman, chances are that you are faced discrimination, either because of your gender, race, class, or sexual orientation. What exactly does this mean? It means that even when you're deserving of a job, promotion, or basic human rights, you are deemed less worthy than your male counterparts. Feminism, this is a word that many men believe it's out to get them, despise them, or worse, women simply want to be men. Why many people believe feminism is the product of too much education or something that is associated with Western culture and thus not African. Despite the backlash, feminism continues to be one of the most commonly used terms in the 21st century. Has the feminist movement done enough intellectually to justify its belief? This question in itself is flawed / problematic, since it implies that the core of feminism has not been logically justified, or that it's a false movement. It is invalid, unworthy, and or lacking in foundation. The word egalitarian is said to be a person who believes in the equality of people. This is synonymous with the word feminism, which is underpinned by the assumption to mean feminine. This is not surprising because it is a movement for women's inclusion in all spheres as we seek to bridge this gap and open up more opportunities across all sectors for women. Feminism is a feminist movement that dates or reaches back to the 14th or 15th century, but gained prominence in the 18th century. It is also known as women's liberation, but not only synonymous with women's rights. Many people still believe that women are looking for problems where none exist. Feminism is a movement that aims to combat sexism, oppression, and sexist exploitation of women, as well as achieve true gender equality. These conversations generally revolve around more women's inclusion in politics and business, equal pay, promotions to managerial positions or roles, hiring women as well as their male counterparts with the same set skills, gender biases even in children, sexual assaults and or rape, gender-based violence, gender roles, societal conformity, harmful and reproductive practices, slut shaming, and so on. The goal for feminism is to provide women and men equal social, political, and economic rights. This is not a claim that women deny their femininity, but rather they are recognized as equal human beings than as inferior to one sex or as second-class citizens. The men are often silenced because women are most marginalized across all sectors. This movement strives to equalize the percentage of women who have been excluded from these fundamental rights. Feminists, contrary to popular belief, do not despise men. It seeks to overcome the bias that men are seen as masculine, money machines, and nothing more, and to overcome the bias that sees women as objects or possessions without a mind of their own, but as equal human beings. Women have been told since the beginning of time that their intended roles are to be housewives and caregivers, never desiring to be more or achieve more out of life. The world was thus formed on patriarchal values. Patriarchy is described as a social structure in which men have power over women and women are primarily excluded from power. This, I am certain, sounds also familiar in today's world. Our society has been ravaged by patriarchy, enshrouded in tradition and culture, a sexist culture that wishes nothing more than to continue oppressing and subjecting women to brutal practices and standards that are not applied to boys and men. Patriarchy forbids women in our society from aspiring to anything besides marrying a man, bearing children, and caring for their husbands and children. Women were viewed as men's property who were unfit to lead or voice opinions. Even while the world has progressed and we have now entered a new era, women are still regarded as inferior to men. Some people believe that the feminist movement is no longer necessary in 2022 since the world has evolved and women are no longer treated differently. However, nothing could be further from the truth. Women have fought for gender equality and oppression for centuries, and while some victories have been achieved in areas such as equal access to education and voting rights, there is still a lot of sexism and oppression to be addressed. Feminism aims include creating a world that is free of bias for both men and women in all fields and dimensions. There is a clear difference in how women are treated from men in subjects like education, politics, economics, career, ambitions, prejudice in our judicial system in cases of domestic violence, sexual and gender-based violence, marital rape, child bride, female genital mutilation, and a host of other acts against women. Women are sexual beings meant for men's pleasure, and some societies still consider the vagina filthy or women who aren't caught promiscuous. Despite the plethora of health risks that female genital mutilation poses. A woman spending her money is not a possibility because how else would she have gotten that besides prostitution? Every action a woman takes, a man must affirm before it is considered. Women are told in 2022 that they cannot make decisions about their bodies. The state regulations are established to control them. wonders if reproductive rights or abortion would be a criminal offense or illegal if men were to have babies. Feminism empowers women by allowing them the choice to be themselves, to understand that these options are available only if they reach for them. The choice is in knowing that you make the right informed decisions about yourself and without judgment. It is okay to have ambitions. It is okay to pursue an education and to whatever level they deem appropriate. Have access to healthcare and sanitary pads. It is okay to vote and be voted for. It is okay to want to be a full-on housewife. It is okay to be a career or businesswoman. It is okay to want to be married, and it is okay to not want to be married. It is okay to want to birth as many children or none at all. It is okay to have body ornaments, nose rings, piercings, tattoos, ankle and waist bracelets. It's okay to choose your body type. It's okay to say yes or no to a man without fear of violence or name calling. It's okay to be polite and kind without being perceived as a harlot. It's okay to be of your choice sexual orientation. Feminism is that choice, not being judged for wanting something because the world thinks it is different. Feminism rejects the persistent desire to oppress, dominate, and enslave women, simply establishing a non-biased world in which girls do not marry as child brides rather than pursuing an education, where domestic violence, sexual assault, sodomy, rape, marital rape, pedophiles, and homicides are all treated as what they are, criminal offenses. Where every sexual interaction is preceded by a request for and acceptance of sexual consent. Where women and girls are free to pursue their sexual orientation of choice. Where merited awards or promotions are offered without male managers demanding sex in exchange. Where women are not ridiculously told they cannot post bail. Where boys and girls are raised to be responsible human beings. Part of the problem with feminism has been that certain women and persons who have been privileged by their race and society forget that their battle is unique from others. Some societies already have equal pay, adequate health, access to birth control and abortion clinics, and other benefits. Yet, there are still insufficient in comparison to societies that are not so fortunate. As a result, their liberation struggle will not be focused on these issues, barring women of various races and sexual preferences from the course. White women face distinct marginalization and discrimination than Black women, who may not be as privileged as the former. As a result, intersectional feminism was born, which considers the rights and emancipation of women of various genders, races, social classes, sexual orientations, and disabilities. You're part of the sexism problem if you do not see the unfairness and discrimination against women and men who do not fit into the peg of masculinity, or if you prefer to be among the 1% who say, I do not treat women unfairly, and the women I know have access to women's rights. You are a part of the problem if you choose a component of feminism besides intersectionality. Furthermore, you are part of the issue if you believe the heart of the feminist movement has been attained and should no longer be discussed. Feminism will continue to fight for its belief until the entire world is free from patriarchy and oppression. So you guys, this is the entirety of the article, and I also use this to kickstart my YouTube channel. I know I'm trying to get a hang of this, but if you like this and subsequent to an extension of my podcast, Rave with Mara, where I discuss societal issues, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share with people. Thank you. Until next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.